Hi, and welcome back to my page. Today I am going to be demonstrating the rate and shape drill. This drill teaches the horse to rate and when cued by the rider, obviously, and encourages the horse to use their hind end. When to do this drill, I do it either as part of my warm-up routine or after my warm-ups, or you can even do it like right before a run to kind of get that rating fresh in your horse's mind. You can really do this drill whenever. The only thing is, don't overdo it in a day, a ride, whenever. It's a very repetitive, simple drill, and it can irritate your horse pretty quickly if you do it over and over and over in a ride or even in a week. So, let's get on.
So I start this drill with a medium to large circle. I really take the time here to establish a good working trot, a good forward rhythm. I just want her to be in front of me in my leg and really moving forward. That way when I want to start sitting and asking her to slow down, I can get a successful transition. Once you've established a good trot and you are satisfied with the way that your horse is moving, you can pick a specific spot on the circle to ask for them to slow down. I picked right there at the front. You'll want to do this the same way you would ask for rate in a race. For me, I sit deep and kind of push my legs forward a little bit. I usually say easy or whoa. I normally say whoa in a race, but I tell her easy now because if I say whoa when we're just riding around here at home, she will stop. So you ask for them to slow down and you hold that for 3 strides and then you ask them to move back out again. You repeat these steps until your horse has a really good understanding and you feel your horse is comfortable with adding that circle, which is what I did here. You may not do this in the first ride or even the first few rides of doing this drill. Really just take the time to let your horse understand what you're asking for before you add in that next step. Once you've done it a few times this way and your horse has a good understanding, you can go ahead and turn around and do it the other way. This is a great drill to do, but going both ways. Once your horse has a really good understanding, something you can do is exaggerate your cues a little bit. So I like to give her the same cues when I'm working this drill as I do when I'm racing. So when I want her to move out and have that faster trot, I go into a 2-point and keep my hands forward and keep my butt out of the saddle, the same way I would if I was asking her to gallop off in a race. And then when we get to the circle, I sit and ask for rate. And once your horse has a really good understanding of this drill at the trot, you can ask for them to do it at the canter as well. Again, this is something you don't want to do until your horse has done it really well, consistently at the trot. If you can't do it when you're moving slower, you'll have a harder time doing it when you're moving faster. So really take the time to establish that good understanding of this drill. Again, it's the exact same thing at the canter as it is at the trot, same cues. Really try to keep it consistent. Of course, I keep going off camera because I am my own best videotaper, but we will deal with it. Again, I start using my exaggerated cues. I found it also really helps when transferring this drill from just working around at home to race time. I like to keep my cues really consistent, and this also helps me as well to remember how I ask her to do all those things. Personally, at a race, I get really nervous and really in my head, so it helps to work on this stuff myself just at home when me and my horse are just riding around and having a good time together. Again, after you are satisfied with the way your horse does it one way, you can go ahead and turn around. And again, I'm going to repeat myself. Do not rush your horse. Make sure you establish that good, even at the lope, that good slower 3 strides before you ask your horse to add in that smaller circle. It's really important, and if you try to add in that small circle too soon, both of you will just end up frustrated, rushed, and falling in. So really make sure you're taking that time. And you'll notice now that I've turned around that I have gone back to just my basic, really subtle cues. So I'm keeping my butt in the saddle and sitting the canter the whole time. When I want her to slow, I do sit a little deeper and lean back a little and apply just a tad of pressure on the reins. I try not to be on her mouth too much, but when doing a drill like this, I do have to ask her with a little rein pressure. And then once I feel like she's doing good, I'll probably go back to my more obvious race style cues. And there I go.
All right, thank you for tuning in to the Rate and Shape drill. Just a few more things I want to say about this drill before we are done today. Do not rush your horse on this drill. Really take the time to establish that good downward transition from that working trot to that collected trot when you're asking for rate before you add the circles in. Doing the trot to stop to trot and canter to stop to canter transitions will really help with your horse's understanding of this. Don't try for perfection in your first few rides. Just look for improvement. Look for that your horse acknowledges that you're asking for that slower trot and starts to kind of figure it out, and then let them be done with it for the day. It'll get better with each ride. And then lastly, now that my horse is solid on this drill, I don't usually do it every week, just here and there. And when I do it, I only go through each step 3 to 4 times before moving on to the next one. So I'll start out with just asking for that collected trot in that certain spot on the circle a few times before I start incorporating the smaller circle, just to make sure she's thinking about what I'm asking and remembers what she needs to do. And then I'll do the same thing at the canter. Ask for a few slower strides first and then add the circles every time I do this drill, just to keep her fresh and thinking about what she's doing. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time.